Good day and good evening, and welcome back to Fellowship with me, Chaiji, but you can just call me Kai. And we of course have Nox here as well for the duo, like last time. For those that didn't catch that, we're going Xavian and Aona. Xavian being a sort of like paladin knight with a two-handed sword and is a tank, while Aona is a time mage healer that does a lot of her healing by attacking and delays damage so that she can heal it by essentially undoing it. And they were exceptionally overpowered in the last season, so of course in our team I mained Xavian and Nox mained Aona, so we have some experience. They are, however, not insanely overpowered anymore. Now, with that said, hey Kaj, hey Beans, hey Agent Monica, hey Fashday, hey Cat, hey Fila, hey Rillian, hey Ham, hope you're all doing very well. And hey Ragnarokia, hope you're doing well as well. And also Nox is here, as I said, he's there.
Hoi hoi.
And for our mains, for a bit of comparison, let me actually just show you what we're cooking at the top end of what we have. We are working on getting some proper optimized gear to really push. And that'll take a bit, but yeah, there's a bit of a difference. Last week, however, with these... Game sent me my item again. Thank you. Fantastic. A weird bug. Took equipment off of me and sent it back to me. No big deal, but last time we finished off having just reached champion when we hit when the time was around 8. So we'll see how far we get this time. Duo queuing as a tank and healer, and then being entirely reliant on random DPS. And Rocky says, my hero does randomly get their rings taken off and sent to mail too, not sure why. It's just a bug. I think that it can only happen with rings and relics, but I think I've heard that it can happen with other things too. Hey Bobamet, hope you're doing well. Fortunately, you can just equip your item again. Why is the tank wearing a shirt? Well, I think my character looks better with the full armor on, but I do agree that it's probably a tankiness loss. But I'll take that challenge. Are you ready, Nox?
I can't believe my tank player is griefing me like this. Not using the optimal shirtless strat. SMH my head.
I'm going to assume that means yes.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Options.
I think we're going for Sailor's Abyss or Stormwatch. What do you think?
Let's do Sailor's Abyss.
Yep. Here goes. An interesting bit with this dungeon is that it has two paths. Like, it splits right here at the start.
I fight for them.
Yeah, what a chatty group, indeed. Imagine saying hello at the start of the dungeon.
This will never happen again.
I miss my Helena stun.
Well, at least technically your stun is AoE on Xavian.
Yeah, but the cooldown is so much longer.
True.
my disco floor disappears, and I immediately start getting chunked by the 3 remaining. Oh, they have a lot of haste.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh boy, fermented specters, my favorite. That's bullshit. But okay.
Come on.
They started casting Anguish Unleashed despite being silenced. So you do actually have to interrupt it.
Weird.
Tell them to do that.
That sounds like a bug to me.
Possible.
Well, we got him. Hey, know me. Hope you're doing well. That's an awkward time to reach the next pack. Bruh.
Yeah.
You know what? We're doing them. Because it's gonna be really awkward with Era anyway.
Since the last time we played, there has been a few changes. There's been at least one patch, as is tradition. There was a patch right at the day after we streamed.
Yeah, as is tradition on this channel, whenever we play Fellowship, a patch note either drops just before the stream or during the stream. An interesting bit that changed is that they... a mechanic that they've been adding to Fellowship is that they've given mitigation, they've given barriers mitigation so that like a shield takes less damage than, you know, exactly full damage affected by your mitigation. But it was so all over the place that people had a lot of trouble actually discerning how much mitigation, like how big is the shield you have if half of them are like 1% of power and the other half is a different percentage of power, or like each shield on you has a different like potency. So they made all of them just take half damage, so that if you have a lot of shields, it won't exceed 100% of your health, so you can still see roughly how much you have at a glance, while the shields are still efficient and effective. Oh. So Helena's aim is better for lower skill. Helena's probably the easiest tank at the moment, I would say.
Also, do be concerned, slightly jokingly concerned that if you're not sure if you want to play Helena, you should just play Mako, because her kit turns Mako mains into Helena mains at an alarming rate.
We have had too many people pick up Mako and then find out that they'd rather play Helena when they do, so... I mean, I would say at present, Helena is the easiest tank. And Mako is the hardest tank. Xavian is somewhere in the middle. But if you think Xavian looks cool, then go for it. Do not let that discourage you. Cat says, I did return to Mako. I feel like I heard that you got a lot of goodies when you tried Mako once again, so maybe the game has just decided to try and try and convince you to give her another chance. Also, that's an insanely high stream streak, Bobobet. 155. So many curses of drowning.
Man. I'm not punching the wing. There's also a funny coincidence that both me and Kai were discussing, like, I
Let's
wonder
go all
why
in
they're
here.
giving...
I think we can do it.
We were wondering, like, okay, but why are they changing all the barriers to have a mid portion? And as we were discussing it, the day after, a patch note dropped where they straight up said that we're adding damage reduction to the barrier so they're smaller, so the research is easy.
Yeah, they literally said that that was the reason why they normalized all of the barriers to be 50% mitigation. Instead of just going, this whole thing with, like, mitigation percent on the barriers is too confusing, we'll just remove it. No, they doubled down because it was too difficult to, like, read at a glance how much mitigation a barrier is giving. Or rather, how much barrier you have when it's so easy to go past 100% of your health in barriers. Hey, Thunderbomb! No beer, we will. Maybe that's the move then, Cat. Try Mako, give up on Mako, try something else, come back so the game goes, ah, you returned.
I can endure.
Maybe that's the move.
You left. Now where did that lead you? Right back to me.
You came back to Mako. Hey Rust, hope you're doing well, and thank you. Ooh, barrier.
My spirit.
So one of the mechanics, or rather one of the modifiers for this specific dungeon we're doing, is Era the White Witch, which places a mini-boss somewhere in the dungeon we fought her earlier. And if you beat her, she gives you like some refund on the timer, so you have better time to actually finish the dungeon despite quote-unquote wasting time on fighting her. And then she will regularly pop in during the dungeon to give you a little, well, actually a big barrier. Which makes it sort of worth it to go, like, if she's not too far out of the way, it's pretty nice just to have.
I fight for them.
And I would say the most, aside from the intermission at 50%, the most standout mechanic on this boss is Undertow, that kind of plays with all of the other mechanics. Regularly she'll put a debuff on 2 players that makes it so that they need to be... you need to cast Ishuna or Dispel on them, whatever you want to call it. And when you do, it places down like a silence field that hurts. So you need to like go out for the Dispel, which is like a lot to manage while doing a boss fight. And sort of optimally requires some communication because, well, optimally you don't step out if the healer isn't ready to dispel you and things like that. And if you don't get dispelled, you could just die. Oh.
Thanks, Era.
Thank you for your contribution, Ada.
Here's your equal participation trophy.
I'm doing my part. Oh boy.
May the light protect us all.
May the light protect us all. It won't, but it might.
It's pretty cool if it did.
Hey. Wow, our Larian getting lucky with a big heroic weapon drop.
Oops.
Ragnarok says, I hate the red lightning modifier since I have been killed twice so far. As soon as I revived, as the thunder one-shot me at the entrance. Not a problem when together, but sucks when alone. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. I've done it. I've acquired Vanguard of Vengeance.
Noise.
Bigness.
Alright.
Well, this cape isn't really worth investing in right now.
Let's see. I do this. Okay. I got. That's not really worth it. That's also not really worth it. But I did get Beetle, so that's nice.
Hey, Crab Galaxy, you click through those fast. The rewards? Well, most of the loot in the chest are like whatever, it's currency. You just grab it and then you see if you have it later. The loot is like, you can look at that afterwards, and that's good. If you keep your inventory clean, you know exactly where the new stuff is. I will queue us up for an Empire and Saints 1 then.
Alright.
Yeah, the thing that made me think probably once is the gear score of our DPS.
I think the person that they're actually performing very well considering their score.
Ragnarok, that's hard to say, and really I think depends heavily on what things you're losing. The thing that I'm seeing on that cape that I just went that's probably not worth looking into right now, is I see cape that is not epic, which means it does not have a socket, which makes the loss even bigger than just, oh, you have less things on it, even though you get more main stat. I'm not sure how impactful each individual thing is, but you have a good point that main stat matters a lot. But because of the way item level works now, you could easily be put in a situation where all the other stuff on an item is more impactful than the main stat alone. Hey Lana, hope you're doing well. Bruh. Bruh.
So far away.
But I think it can vary a lot, Ragnarok, yeah. If you're in Eternal, there's a lot of things to keep track of, like you might want set bonuses over just having the item with the most main stat. I think to some degree that the amount of secondary stats on things relative to main stat is balanced in such a way where, go for what you think would help you the most. I'm not 100% sure on what's best, to be perfectly honest, but I do think that getting the correct blessings, the correct traits, the correct set bonuses, all of those things probably will help you more than just going all in on main stat. But it also really depends on what you're going for. As I showed on my Helena, most of the gear that I'm wearing is just essentially the first 315 item I got in each slot, with the logic that I'll find a better piece later, and right now I just need something. Uh-oh. I was rooted. Apparently I was rooted right up until that dash. Very cool. Very, very, very nice. Very awesome. That's also true. Right. My advice on that, Ragnarokia, is that Method has guides for every character, and there's a lot to read. Like, there's a page in the guides specifically for gearing and things like that. It might not give you the full picture, and is ultimately just giving you like ideas on what to do because of all the randomness, like what traits to look for. When you're still like proccing towards Eternal, there's not that much to say beyond if you actually have two items that are like the same item level. It might give you an idea of what stat to prioritize and things like that. But when you get to Eternal, you will quickly find that like you might actually have to like look for specific skills and try to like force that to happen with the rerolling systems and whatnot. But it isn't as overwhelming as it might sound. Admittedly, Nox and I spent like an hour looking over gear yesterday. Just because of that. But now we have a pretty solid idea of what we're doing. So 1 hour, and then that's that. It's pretty solid. Hey Procrastinauts, hope you're doing well. Gaze upon the void between stars! The weirdest thing about trying Ilarion myself at one point was that that like ultimate announcement sounds way different from Ilarion's own POV. Finally, a normal amount of haste. Normally we're on the regs working with these scraps, and now we get a Shadow Lord and an ult, and now I feel normal.
Such is life sometimes.
That feeling of... Oh, that was a nice jump from that Ilarion.
Yeah, clean.
Very nice. Is there anything else to interrupt other than Shadow Bolt?
There's difficulty now.
Okay,
He does
well,
not do the
probably
pillars.
help with that. Well, I guess that would still mean there's nothing else to interrupt.
I just took the fight.
I fight for
Something around the dodge. The hunters.
Did I get hit by one?
Yeah, you get hit by one.
Sorry.
It's all the bears. And then earlier got hit by one. But it's easy for me to point out as I'm standing here on the ridge, and don't have two giant mummies smacking me in the face.
Ragnarok, to your question about ults, wait, did we not get enough?
We
How?
missed one somewhere.
Well, that's awkward. To your question, Ragnarok, generally, you can't get it, like, aside from if you have some, like, sapphires, you can't get another ult until you spend the first one, so most of the time, in the optimal scenario, you would plan the dungeon around the fact that you have ult there and there and there. When you're like just crawling through them initially, you probably will not necessarily know the dungeons that well, and like the answer will change very frequently. So it might be difficult to know if you have or have not an ult at any given specific time. But under optimal circumstances, you plan it so that if your ult is like loaded and ready to go, then that's the next thing you're gonna use, so that you can get one more. I would say even more so for tanks than for healers, but even for healers, just send it and make the most of it is often a lot more helpful than like keeping it for, oh, but what if I need it? The thing is, you can just make the magic happen. Just play in a way where you will need it.
There is some nuance to it, but it's not that much nuance, and it's not that big of a difference.
No. Pretty much. It's like, yeah, there will be times where like hold it for a second or something, but most of the time, send it is the correct answer. I'll just hang out here then. You already finished. Like in Season 1, I had a tendency to hold my ult as Vigor because what if I need it? And it often meant that we did way less overall damage than if I had just used it when I had it. And by just going for it, you're going to do more damage. And there are bosses where the healer doing more damage could make... Oh, I just got hit there. Sorry about that. The healer doing more damage could mean that the fight overall is easier because, you know, the fight is going to end sooner.
This could have actually killed before this exploded. But because people stopped and are now focusing on the thing.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Oh, we got all of them. Oh, we're still timing this, no problem.
Yeah.
Caetsu send it holding is for when you have 130 max spirit. Also true. Also true. A talent point. That means that I could sacrifice imposing presence and get golden hour. I'm sure that won't be a problem. Damage. Not only will it make me do more damage by boosting my highest damage ability by 50%, it'll give me more of one of my other high damage buttons. And also give me more of the better version of my best attack. And it will also make enemies attack me faster, which means I can parry more often, which means I can counterattack more. It just works. It just works.
Sounds cool. Taking more damage, and that's some other dude's problem.
Well, it's also partly my problem. It does seem like we're sharing that burden.
Well, so it would seem.
Right. I'll send us to Ruins of Regis. Yeah, exactly, Ragnarok. Yeah, I assumed that was the case. The trick is, the best you can do is, like, if you're in lower leagues, you will probably have tanks that are pulling more carefully. And sometimes it can be difficult for them to know, but if they like learn that there's like a sign like that, the people typically ult here and things, they might pull bigger, or they'll realize that that was way too little and pull bigger. And if you sit there holding your ult for when it really, really is needed, I think we'll do it like this. 2 parts. Then it'll, again, probably work better by just sending it when it's available. Just make the most of it. The worst one for me is sometimes I'll be doing, like, I'll have, like, I don't know, 30 mushrooms as Sylvie. And then the tank, like, pulls, like, the noodliest baby pull you've ever seen. And I'm like, cool. I guess I'll just send these 30 mushrooms in and with a boosted by my ult into 5 guys instead of 10. Thanks. It'll still do a lot, but it could have been more. He's off. Hope you're doing well.
I can handle this.
ATS wasn't bold. Hope you're doing well. It is fun while playing with friends, but it also works alone. You just need to run into some cool people, which is not too bad. I've run into plenty of like cool randos, and we're like, I'd like to play more with those.
Obviously, technically, we have to point out that there is technically a bias there.
What do you mean?
Well, did you know that statistically proven that you encounter less toxic people if you're good at the game?
That's true, yes. People are less likely to waste their breath calling you an idiot if you're really good.
Yeah. Weird fact, though.
And that's also true. We have a little section of the community focused on Fellowship. So you could find awesome people to play with there as well, dears.
Oh, God.
This is awkward.
Well, thankfully, it shouldn't kill us. Hey Weaver, hope you're doing well. Woo. In a twist of that, actually, something else I've noticed over the years is that if you're really good at the game, some people excuse you being a shitty person.
Yeah.
It's less okay.
And that is true. What was damaging the Ilarion so much just now?
Oh. I think they walked around with a bleed debuff. Missed 2 mobs. Do they want me to grab them? That's too late.
I think we'll have mobs that are difficult to avoid a little bit later.
That's true.
I usually feel like I don't grab those. That's why I didn't.
I'll explain why we're...
There's a barrier set up.
That's it.
That is a fascinating way to solve that mechanic. I know that's not what you were aiming to do, but there's something really funny about the Ilarion just hanging out in death territory, and it's like he's not dying because
That's why
Destiny
he was
can wait.
dying so badly. While I ulted.
Yeah, you paused his death.
Okay, fantastic. We're missing 4%-ish. It's 2.6 actually, but let's work as if it's 4.
Relative to where we would normally be at this point?
Yes.
I can endure.
The 2 mobs we skipped were worth 2.6%.
Ah, okay. Each?
Yep. No, individually.
Yeah, that's what I meant by each. So 5%?
There.
Oh
There
boy,
was-
that is Ilarion walking to his death.
Yeah. And I could have reacted faster than that. My bad. No. They're 1 point.
I got hit by the explainer man.
Ooh.
Sorry about that. I even tried to
They're
make it to be brief.
1.29% each. So the total is 2.6. Why is math so hard? I blame the fact that I don't have a master's degree.
That's okay. I have one and math is still hard.
Dang it. Maybe we need to ask someone with a PhD. See if they also still think math is hard.
This is gonna be big. I
Surely
think.
it becomes easy eventually, right?
For them.
Eventually.
Surely math doesn't become more difficult as you go up. That's I know that's a consequence of them typing or trying to run here and doing their DPS, but that's some intense as well. It's okay. I've done the exact same thing every now and then. Uh-oh,
There's a
spaghetti.
patrol coming in behind us.
I can handle it.
We are directly in the path.
You,
we have to
yeah,
pull up.
you are. Oh, not well. Now we have them.
I've seen my
I have dodged that hole. You have to walk up the stairs.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
Dang it.
usually that this pull is over by the time these guys pass around again, but oh well.
I think we're just slow. I think you
Maybe.
have to look where this passes.
But now we have that percent we lost, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, more than enough.
I don't
We can do the
understand
longest there.
what that brute guy is doing. Do we need more than this? One more pack, you think?
Yes, we need the pack to the side.
For my people.
It's not gonna add up perfectly, but we're going to be sure.
I did. Butterfly says this game seems to have a GCD. Indeed. Indeed, it does.
It's a rather short GSD, affected by haste.
Yeah. And haste is pretty abundant.
Relatively.
If you want it, you can have it.
It unfortunately also has diminishing returns.
Oh boy. We don't have time for this, Tariq. He took the
Well, we
long
kinda
way
do. We
down
have
the
time.
stairs and then also on top of that, took the camp.
Well, in Tariq's defense, we do have 5 minutes.
This is Ultimatum, and this is Ruins of Regeth.
True, but it
We
is
might
only
not
in
have-
champion.
That is true. I did see that Ragnarokia had a longer message. I just can't read all that while I'm doing the dungeon, so I'm gonna get to it after the dungeon. He got hit by the tank buster.
I suspect that as much, considering how much it jumped.
Stay strong.
And oh, they're gonna die.
I can handle the fall after me.
So an interesting thing about that Unholy Hymn, which you might not notice if you're just blasting away, smashing your buttons, is that while the boss is channeling it, it takes like 1% damage. So the only things you should really be casting during that is anything that builds resources so you can do a little bit more damage when he's like properly attackable again. There's no point in blasting him while he's doing that. And the reason why I'm not exactly helping much with all of those soaks is because the boss is his auto attacks cleave. So it's simply too dangerous for the rest of the party for the tank to run around. So if people are like swarming around me grabbing things, then I'll just not help. And I do that because of prior experience of killing a DPS while trying to just help. It's just not worth it.
This moment.
Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs, Crab Galaxy. Thank you so much. And I guess enjoy the mount. I think that's how that works.
Yeah.
Why am I only getting green drops, man?
It is your destiny to be green.
I am become
Just because
green.
of your wearing a shirt debuff.
Oof. Let me just move these over here. I think that looks better. That's what I'm used to. The
Why do I
Ragnarok
keep
says,
getting shoes?
thank you for the 5 gifted subs, Ilana. Thanks so much, guys.
Oh man. I don't even get money until Monday. I can't get the mount until then, so I can continue to use the exact same mount I always do.
Hey Alice, hope you're doing well. I don't know if you missed anything. Ragnarokia says, had mostly good groups so far, including times super geared people casually helping out in the first two untimed difficulty, but also had a few people leave mid dungeon if they think damage is too low. Yeah, my weirdest experience is probably something like, oh, I got the same necklace I already had in before it has garbage traits. Just give it to me. Give it to me straight, skittering color. It has oak. It has oak, and instead of stag, it has mountain and wolf, which could work. I preferred having stag. How big of a power difference is it? Pretty big. How much stamina we get? Very little because of tempering. Well, I'll climb up with this. And then we at least keep oak. Yeah, one of the funniest, in retrospect, experiences I had was starting a dungeon and like I got Scrya's Peak Contender 2 as the first dungeon on a character. The tank pulls way too much, dies almost immediately, leaves. Oh, we actually had a hype train happen. Oh, I didn't even notice. Thank you so much, guys. Crab Galaxy says that happens really often to me, even in Paragon. I guess it can happen especially with something like Sithral's Fall, because it's a pretty big time investment. If you're not strong enough, then you're not strong enough, and that's gonna really suck. Well, let's just get into it. Wormheart next?
Yeah. It's ultimatum.
Done.
Yeah. My neck has cracked in a very unpleasant way.
I fight for them.
That's not good.
No, it's not. No.
But yeah, that is true, Crab Galaxy. I think we talked about this last week as well. That as a result of there being like somewhat of a permanent tank shortage, not exclusive to Fellowship, because there isn't a punishment for leaving, at least for now, partly because it's difficult to figure out what kind of punishment would actually work, if there should be one. If you're just trying to push and want the time clear, as a tank, it'll probably make a lot more sense to leave a group if you feel like it isn't good enough. Also, thank you for the 2 gifted... for the 1 gifted sub, Rust. Not to undercut it or something. Thank you so much! I just read it wrong. I don't know why I read it wrong, but I did. I think we'll do this smaller pull here, because that golem is a boy. Thank you so much, Russ. I just read it wrong. Oh, an extra one. Thank you so much, Russ. That's awesome.
I can.
Oh, do you say
Can't
no?
wait for next for the next tier, season 4, where they, for no reason at all, buff the ever-loving shit out of Shining Halo. Where they buff Shining Halo, so that the talent that makes it so that people get healed for the damage of your dance floor is actually good.
There is something really funny about that talent basically being like garbage for all of Season 2 where Xavier was busted. And then they started, oh boy, Season 3 by nerfing it.
It was never picked, but it was caught in the
It was
crossfire
apparently
anyway.
too strong.
I find it weird that they nerfed it specifically. I feel like the better way to nerf a talent like that is to mess with the numbers on Shining Halo itself.
Maybe. I feel like this pull always gets really scary.
Yeah, I feel like there's too many things that should be interrupted in it slightly.
I do see the Decryptify really chunks. There's just too many sentinels that need attention.
Yeah. We go through it.
I just feel like the times where I've skipped this or somehow pulled it weirdly so the camp isn't taken, it's almost like fate goes, oh, you don't need the camp? Are you too good for the camp? Okay then. Oh, dang it. Dang it. I don't know what to do.
Sometimes the only thing you can do is accept that certain pulls are cursed.
Sometimes all you can do is accepting death is the worst sin a life can commit.
IMO.
IMO.
Thank you, Gallus. Very helpful.
Fantastic.
Never forget that you two could have a depressed kid talk in your ear while you fight something a million hands.
It's Metricon says, some pulls make you yearn for Death Grip. The good news there is that
There technically is one in the game now.
there is literally Death Grip on Gunde, yeah. But not only that, all three tanks have a way to force a pack closer. Whether it's a yoink or a cyclone suck in or grand melee making the enemy go, you know what, you're right, I should hit you physically with my bow. That does sound like a better idea. Now that you mention it, that does sound like the correct move. I'll come in, I'll come over. Thank you for the train, everyone. That was awesome. Meanwhile,
this empowered blade of Sithril is chilling.
oh boy.
Thick.
Boing, boing, boing. Whoa! But yeah, there just isn't quite something like having a 30-second cooldown death grip. A lot nicer than having a 1-minute cone grip, where you can't be 100% sure you can actually reach the person you're trying to yoink. Like, something that I think would be really awesome is some sort of option where you could hold the button just to show the cone, so you could be sure before you yoink.
Yeah. Like a range indicator would be really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't believe in that. In the runaround there, that's not happening.
I should have said it earlier, but I do have stealth.
We could have probably used that. Oh well.
Yeah. It would be the first time we don't use a utility. For some reason, even in Team 1, we almost never use any of the utility.
For some reason, whenever I'm in the tank seat at least, I just find a way to do it by force.
Yeah.
We could skip these. Yeah, we could also fight them. You know?
I have this portal thing. That sure is cool.
It's neat. I have a sword.
Oh well. At least it's not season 2. Yeah. Nox, it's time for your daily gigapull. Yes, Kai.
There must always be another gigafold. On the plus side, there was an empowered guy there, so now we start this one with the big haste buff. And by big haste buff, I of course mean a normal amount of haste for Xavier. Bruh.
Very cool.
Bruh. Oh.
Dance, mortals. I fight for them. Be gone. Be burdened by frost. Dance, mortals. Gone. I can endure. Be burdened by frost.
Ow. I have to get out of it there. It's really hard because he keeps casting stuff.
For my people. Dance, mortals. Be burdened by frost.
That is oh, I think we're dead. I think I've killed everyone. That is an evil timing of all of that.
Yeah.
I must stay strong.
I'm going to do this. I do not want to stay there.
There's nothing. You will witness Cithral's power. Be gone, is that all? Be burdened Hardened by frost.
I don't have...
I can handle this.
Hey, that was really cursed.
Mhm.
I got a new weapon.
I got a shoulder. What was it?
That's a cape.
Oh yeah, that is.
When Rocky says this boss seems to randomly do nothing or almost one shot out of nowhere. The Icy Death does a huge amount of damage, but the reason why it swings so hard is because as it is interruptible, sometimes it just doesn't go through. Oh, awesome. The free weapon I got from the rewards track is the one I want. But the weapon I just got that is way higher item level is Fate. Guess we have to use the Fate one. It's stronger.
Yeah. Well, at least the Faith one will make it easier for you to.
Shining Halo.
Yeah. And Solar Shield.
Yeah. Let's see, we want martial initiative.
Let's do a
This
Sapphire
way.
Drain, just for the sake of it. It's a free spirit.
It's very expensive to take a new weapon into use.
Oh yeah. So expensive. Cool.
But yeah, because of that, Icy Death just does a crazy amount of damage. And if it happens to, like for instance with Xavier, if it happens to coincide with, like sometimes you can use Icy Death twice in a row quickly enough that Solar Shield is like ready for the first one, but not the second one. And the second one then does a huge amount of damage. And if the second one happens to be like overlapped with something that causes the Sabian to have to leave his dance floor, then that also does more damage. Cat is looking at it. I feel like you kept pulling the boss to the wall in a way that you always had to point it towards the party to dance the ground spikes. Part of the reason there, Cat, was basically because some of the first Frigid Mist floor things kind of got in my way. And then each time I tried to move her, she was either doing glacial spikes or casting Icy Death or Frigid Mist was coming up again. Like, basically, it felt like every time I had a chance to move her, she had something queued up that meant I couldn't. So it was really, really, really hard to get her out. But ultimately, I think what I should have done is when at the first opportunity, just jump to a different corner or something. But you're right, that was probably what was happening.
Nothing quite like risking the entire party.
Yeah, that one where she straight up pointed at the party was, like, I was put in a position where it felt like there was nothing I could do other than move that way. And then Howling Blast was next. For some reason, it felt like she was queuing attacks a lot more than normal. Like, somehow she fell behind.
I mean, we are about to face the good old lord of... Alright, I'm just gonna queue this for 3 years.
Yeah.
My spirit holds.
I think the record was like one time the final boss of Stormwatch just queued raiders to spawn for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, they were just standing there like with their weapons ready, like,
Are we supposed to come in now?
No, wait your turn. I'll say the line, and that's when you move. Okay, but it says here on the schedule. I know, I'm getting there.
I just need to get through this other stuff.
Yeah, I have to tell them that there will be others.
Why do you have to inform them how replaceable you are? It seems kind of demoralizing for yourself.
But yeah, I agree, Kat. I'm not quite sure how I ended up putting myself in that position, but you're right. It just felt like every time I could have moved, it just didn't really work out.
I must stay strong.
There will be others. I hold no position of value in this company. What I do is not mandatory.
I will say, for all the flag Faded Strike gets, it does put in some work.
Oh yeah, like Faded Strike, like it's good. I just don't really like it. Even as a DPS, it feels a little boring. Stop moving.
I can handle this. Fight in the sunlight.
That's a lot of moving in this back. Hey, it's more of a...
Oh, here it comes. That rat is really, truly what I'd call a survivor. I'll focus the guy that is the furthest away, and he'll never see it coming, and just not come in with me, and then I'll just survive. It's genius.
I can endure.
Oh.
Oh. Wow. Would you rather circle every 2 minutes or cone every 180 seconds? Wait, what?
This is supposed to hurt.
Oh, I'm guessing it's a melee DPS thing.
May the light protect us all.
I liked how the Ilarian circled around the campfire like 3 times. But didn't take it.
I can endure.
Hello, Mr. Pillager. So sure, I'm glad that you are so innocuous and definitely not the scariest mom on this pole. Right, Kai?
Yeah. You forgot your empowered clipper today? No worries, man.
Please keep forgetting it.
Naomi says, it's fine, Nox. He, the boss, has taken comfort from the fact that he's part of something bigger.
They should still value his own contribution higher and not announce so harshly that he is in fact replaceable in the grand scheme of things.
Gaze upon eternity.
it's important to put value in your own actions, even if they are minuscule in the grand scheme. This has been a random self-help saying, Knox. Do not ask for a continuation.
Episode 1 of 1.
Yeah. So fun fact, in the Eternal version of this fight, he can in fact stun you while the stack that he does on Eternal is on. And,
Cool.
and the backstabbers teleport on top of you.
Very cool. Very nice.
This was appreciated by everyone. And we wish him to continue doing it, please. It's getting significantly harder to keep you at a stable HP.
Yeah, the thing is, because the maximum stacker, I think what happened, I actually died there apparently.
Yeah.
Makes it so that if you're like, this is good, we're fine, and then like the moment that the maximum stacker hits, I effectively take like 30% or so more damage. Okay. Which I think is what happens. Like we're good, and then suddenly I hit that cap, and then I take a ton of damage.
Be more proactive with cleansing them.
I guess so. Like view it as a resource that caps.
Yeah.
Oh boy, more pillagers. Yeah, the emote we got from the hype train definitely definitely doesn't fit well the celebration after the fact. Like a crying cat. blinding slash duration is long.
Yeah.
Stand before annihilation.
Freeze this moment.
I can't endure.
My victory.
Ooh, that's scary damage. Hey! I got the coin!
Oh man, that's cool. I wonder if I'll ever get it on my save. Instead of, I don't know, some really useless mana trinkets.
There is something funny about him even being able to get that.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Another talent.
Essentially, for anyone who's not super in the know with Fellowship yet, Obsidian Sigil is a tank exclusive trinket or relic, which like relics give you extra abilities if they're at least rare, and the Obsidian Sigil gives you like just an extra defensive cooldown. Like imagine if you needed a certain item to be able to use Nebula in 14. That's essentially what it does. Very balanced. Very, very balanced. Is Warlord Brock easiest boss? No. He becomes harder.
A lot harder.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I'll be right back. So... Oops. In the meantime, sanity restored.
I could really go for some soup. Anyone here have a good soup recommendation?
Cat says Stranger of Paradise? What are you talking about?
Wrong kind of soup cat.
By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, it does help a lot with a like over on the YouTube side of things. You know, algorithms. Thanks so much in advance. Can I buy... Can I have supplies yet? How long was it? 3 hours from now and 5 hours from now. Will that?
I do like broccoli and lettuce soup. But I sadly have neither broccoli or lettuce
My
at home.
God, it's the wannabe right there.
Oh. Is it?
Up there.
Oh yeah. Is that the...
Yep.
No, the question I was gonna ask is that the number one?
I can't remember if they're number one, but they are very high, and I'm pretty sure they're streaming.
Yeah.
On the regs.
Yeah. There was... I mean, we've also encountered Leknock, who I believe is still the world's best...
I think there's more competition for that, but I don't know if it's because he's
Yeah.
just started playing other characters.
Yeah, but he at least was the world's best Vigor player.
In the first several days, he was like 2,000 higher rating than second place.
I can handle this.
In Season 2, he was also effectively the only Vigor player. That was more sad. That was more so because Iona was incredibly busted.
Yeah. No doubt about that. As I try to explain it, whenever I mention it, I'm like, yeah, Xavier and Iona were kind of busted in Season 2. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. But it is not something that you can hide. That was, like, just a fact. Life of the game.
To put it in perspective, they eventually buffed Vigor to try and catch up to the value Iona provided in teams by existing. After she was giga nerfed.
Yeah. And they had to buff Vigor so much that his the concept of how his toolkit worked kinda like was breaking in half just to function. And they looked at Sylvie and said, no, we're not gonna do that. And then she was just like on the verge of being like, why are you playing Sylvie?
My spirit holds.
But I believe at the very end of Season 2, when they were like, okay, Vigor is playable now. His passive, which was that he provided damage reduction to things he shielded, I believe.
And he had two things that were like put in to try and make him like able to compete with Iona. The first thing was the residual light mechanic that came back recently. When he put a shield on someone, when it ran out, it gave like a mitigation effect that is weak, that was stronger than it is now when it was re-implemented, to like make it so that he could tide over between shields. And most of his shields had like a baked in like scaling mitigation percent that depended on your gear, but peaked at 80%. So you had a 1k barrier. That's actually a 5k barrier. Because why not, right?
And of course, to add the context that is missing from that, when they first implemented it, it peaked at like
I believe it peaked at like
30
50,
or 20%.
Yes, 30 or something like that, and then they buffed it to 50, and then they buffed it to 70, and then they buffed it to 80% cap. And that was when it started to reach a point where, well, the way people were pushing at the top of the line, like the highest rated team was, I think, Azavian and Adios, who had the best like scaling damage of all DPS, and Aeona, of course, and Avigor. Because the problem at that point was surviving long enough for the Adios to do his damage, but he could do it, I believe. But yeah, this time around, I don't feel like they've like broken any of the characters in half to make them work.
No.
But that's just to try and
feels much better now.
But that is just to that just goes to show, like, I think the closest we are to that is that Mako has been getting a lot of buffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess in a way on that, Nomi, is that that's part of the reason, I think. Like, we can't go anywhere before you mount up and move it, Ilarion. I think that's part of the reason why they made it so that odd comp cannot compete on the leaderboards in the same way, is because it kind of like made things really weird. It just made things weird. So now if you want to at least for now, if you want to compete on the leaderboards, you have to use a normal comp at a certain point. So they don't have to worry about balancing it such that double healer is always worse than a normal comp. Say cheers, sugar. Hope you're doing well. By the way, if it seems like the frame rate is tanking a bit on the stream, yeah, me too. I don't know what it is about Uruk Markets. It always does this for me.
I do mean that Aeona got giga nerfed. When she released, there was no cap to how much damage she could stagger.
Yep, as long as you could survive the ticks, you could just keep building it.
Yep.
So in a way, by design, I believe the cap would be something in the ballpark of like 3,000% of your health.
Yep.
Because that would mean you would die in exactly one tick. I don't know. Oh right, the totem that we don't need. I feel like our DPS have a death wish.
They really want to die to Storm Shield.
Yeah, right into the patrol! Take that!
Your time is over.
So the first thing they did was add an actual cap, and even now in Season 3, the cap right now is smaller than it was at worst in Season 2. And
Yeah.
it's still insanely good.
Yep.
It's hard to compete with just the effective HP stagger gives you, because it's almost impossible to calculate just how much value it is.
Yeah, and when you're trying to calculate it, if you sit down and like do the numbers game on it, it often feels like, well, this is actually not helping, but it very much is helping.
If this is your toy, not skin you alive.
What is with the Larians and just standing away from the party?
They have they have a negative magnetic field relative to their party's position.
No. Well, thankfully I'm
Like
playing
a
Arma, so it's not that big
law
of a
of
problem.
nature. Vortex in like 14 or so. Vortex in 5. Here it comes.
Oh.
We have a storm shield. I sure wonder if we could have an interrupt on the guy casting wild bolts from Narnia. Wouldn't that be a crazy idea? I'll try and help a little bit with some heals here.
Hey, I can't do that.
Apparently it only stops him for a second. Oh, we have Vortex. And...
You might free these slaves, but more deals are being made across the jungle.
that's a storm shield. Never mind, there's a death. Shoulders! Big! Big shoulders.
Nice. Gotten like 3 purple items in a row.
Nice.
Really want me to use all my
I'm giving it 2 tempers and no more. And I'm also trying to like I don't think I'll rarity upgrade something from uncommon, which is why I just have them.
Yeah.
Considering it for later. And now we're at Silken Hollow Ultimatum.
Oh boy.
Very, very epic.
I don't have a cleanse relic. Womp womp.
I have Omega Retrieval. Maybe it'll be fun. You know what would be really awesome? Would be really awesome if a Chief Rebel dev were to see this a toggle where you can just indicate that you're ready. Like just in the menu up there, just like shows a little check mark to go, I'm done with whatever I need to do. So that you can indicate to your party wordlessly, I'm ready to play more. I'm perfectly aware that, you know, you could just do it by saying it with human words. I'm just saying that a lot of players don't want to do that. So a lot of the time, it would be a lot more effective if we could just a little, like a little ready check mark. I don't feel like I'm asking for much here, but I'm asking for it since season 1. Cat with a you know what would be awesome? A shirtless tank. Man.
I agree. This is the top priority.
Hey Lex, hope you're doing well. Oh, that got a little spooky.
I mean, it did. And I think mostly.
What did you just fully fix it with like 2 immense fates or something?
Yes.
Well then.
Didn't even use my my Twilight Sky bolts.
No, he says, no, that would be the top list priority. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's true. That would be the top list priority. No, she's got a point. Oh, there are some hard stoppers that are really getting spread around.
At least it's not the pull with the largest amount of them in. Yep.
Yeah, speaking of which, coming right up.
Bum, 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 bum.
I fight! Fall after me!
Oh!
I see my victory.
Somehow that this specific dungeon is that one always sneaks up on me. The anomalous orbs, Silken Hollow. I like that one too, Cat. Just sending the mount, my mount is ready. AK Mount Squeaks is ready. Also works. But like, I'm basically asking for a more like streamlined version of that. That's what I'm asking for ultimately.
I can handle it.
I've seen my witness eternity.
You stand before annihilation. Fall after me!
For some reason I thought that face stabber was just attacking me from behind. No, they were face stabbing someone else behind me.
You're in fact stabbing someone's face.
Hmm.
Mm,
What I do?
What I do? It's kind of rude of them to put a cleansable
We're getting an extra rod heart.
damage buff.
And then also money, yeah.
Yeah.
And making that cleansable.
Like, okay. Okay.
Oh, here it comes. I don't know what you do with that warning, but there you go. We're getting hit with massive damage, and I don't have any mitigation to put up. I guess we'll just have to take it then. There's another one. Oh god! Wow! How did you do that?
2 Skyball charges that are apparently being powered at once. 2 Skyball charges and then restore continuity.
Next says, can you wall to wall in this game? I don't recommend it. Technically, you
can,
could, but like, there's nothing preventing you from pulling. The reason why we pull the sizes we do is that we would die if we pull more than that. You basically figure out what the limit is, and then you push that limit. That's how the game works, because there's a timer. You see the timer up here? That's the one we're fighting. Beat the dungeon before that is the target. Is the name of the game.
Yes,
and yes, the game has native DPS meter.
For an interesting reason.
What?
The interesting reason being that the reason for a lot of things.
Here comes.
Other...
Yeah, a lot of things added to the game are there because, well, let's just say if the devs didn't put a native DPS meter, then the players would just make one. What if pull everything then kite? That's not gonna work.
Could maybe work in a few dungeons,
Maybe.
but I wouldn't
But you
recommend
won't
it.
be able to hold aggro.
Yeah,
Have you seen Tariq, Heartstopper?
there we go.
Basically, a large part of what allows the tank to hold aggro at the start of pulls is that they added like a pretty big bunch of aggro when on the first person the enemy sees, but that just gives you enough of a lead that you can somewhat comfortably contain that. But if you're just running around not attacking because you're mounted, you're not gonna hold aggro. Like, it's just not gonna work. Yes, as the Metricon says, you can pull everything and then just instantly become a splat on the floor.
I can have made their life.
I hold time in my hand.
Like, the reason why wall-to-wall pulls became the norm in 14 is because the pulls you can do are simply not big enough to warrant being afraid.
Some are.
Some are, yeah. You have to mount to move. I mean, some characters have speed boosts and you can do stuff, but you can't pull everything in time. Like, remember, Lex, in 14, if you could pull... Imagine that there was no wall and you could just pull everything in, like, an A Realm Reborn dungeon. As in, you could pull all 3 bosses at once. Everything. Your sprint would end, and if it was not in A Realm Reborn dungeon, but something more recent, the enemies would catch up to you and get a lot of pot shots. Just smack you, because you can't outrun them anymore.
In the case of several other
Then you
dungeons,
die.
there's range mobs that just go, I don't care.
I mean, you can AoE attack while moving, but think we need to heal before jumping.
Pain in the ass.
But you can move while, like, you can do move and AoE here, but again, the point is, Lex, you're missing some very, very crucial details that in 14, the reason why you can just pull is because enemies don't run as fast, and by the time your sprint runs out, you're typically, like, at the destination anyway, so you're fine, right?
This game does not have a lot of walls. There are walls, and people do use them.
And yes, as Kat says, mobs in 14, like in dungeons, have a tendency to be a lot weaker. And let's just say, wait, now that I think about it,
Orbs.
I just saw, yep. More orbs. Apparently, this bug isn't exclusive to Wormheart.
It would appear so. That is very uncool, to be honest.
At the launch of Fellowship, there was a mode called Quick Play, which was basically like the easiest difficulty, but you had stats as if you were like 2 leagues higher up, which made them exceptionally easy, like extremely easy. People did in fact pull the whole dungeon and then just killed the boss with the dungeon. So what you're seeking did exist. They removed it.
Destiny can wait.
I just remember the next wave of mobs will come from the other side.
Give me everything.
Never mind. Big upgrade. Asymmetricon says, imagine if 14 dungeons had attacks you had to interrupt or you exploded. Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit like Deep Dungeons, Alice, but like tune it down a little bit to be like a little bit less like, oh, you missed one, you die, and more like, you missed one, I hope you had a backup plan.
A few exceptions.
Yeah.
Oh, naked Elena. Well, it isn't all doom and that's the scrapper.
Ooh boy.
That was almost a disaster.
Now, he says, what would be the most annoying mob pull in 14? Just going off of already existing dungeon mobs, but just being freely able to combine them.
Add some jerk anglerfish to the pull at the start of gold.
If we normalize the stat lines of the mobs, one anglerfish from Sastasha, there is exactly one, it has a rate buff. One anglerfish from the male Darkhold, it applies a physical vuln that you can assume that, but it applies a physical vuln. The frog guy from the start of Don Meg, maybe like 4 of them, because then you can't interrupt all of them, and they're immune to stuns. And then just a guy that hits hard. Like maybe like the horses from Don Meg. Actually, Don Meg got pretty stacked in that regard. The horses have tank busters and they just hit hard. And then you just have the frogs buff those. Oh, and yeah, also like a toad or two from Aurum Vale or this male Darkhold you pick. Do we do Everdawn Grove first? Or Scryer's Peak first?
Yes, to Everdawn Grove first.
Oh yeah, the wolves, the dudes from Walker's Armor with the sudden tank busters. Hey Shaq, hope you're doing well. Sounds like you're not. Remember to find a bucket to stand in.
Or the birds that spawn after the second boss of Vanguard. I just think it's so
I hope
hard.
that Ilarion was ready.
I have no clue.
This is gonna be a little big.
I can endure.
Your time.
But that is an interesting thought experiment, Naomi. What would, if you could mix and match a big AoE pull, what would be the most annoying combination you could make?
I still argue that the simplest one is to just add a jerk anglerfish to the first pull of Mount Gold.
That's actually a pretty solid start, yeah. Let's do this.
I can
It's like, oh, that's pretty simple. Like, why is that so hard? It's like, that pull hits hard because there's a ton of it.
Yeah.
And the jerk anglerfish is one of the meanest mobs in the game.
Yeah, the reason why we call them jerk anglerfish is because basically 100% of cases where a mob with that model has existed in a duty, it has something evil to provide. There's jerk anglerfish in Shisui of the Violet Tides, and yes, they do in fact apply an annoying debuff of some sort.
It's simply that the pull they are part of in Shisui isn't the big one, so it's significantly easier.
Yeah. Oh, whoops.
And they're still dangerous. If there's any problem with that pull, it's probably because the healer forgot to Asuna did Anglerfish debuff.
Yeah. Something like that. I don't actually remember if that one can be Asuna, but the point is that...
All versions of the Jerk Anglerfish debuff can be Asuna.
Oh, the reason why I'm not exactly assuming is because the Jerk Anglerfish, the first one you'll ever see, doesn't even have a debuff.
Yeah.
Because it applies a buff instead. You probably don't know what Asuna is, so we'll just... You don't have to worry about that. We'll just buff the enemies instead. Then there's no counterplay. Other than running.
Very cool.
Oh yeah, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, Asymmetricon. The Origenics turtle. Put that with like 4 frogs. So there's no way that you prevent it from being buffed.
I don't even feel like that's hard, that's just irritating. It takes so long.
Yeah, exactly. But if it's buffed, then suddenly you do get one-shotted by the stomp.
That's true. The stomp actually does something. Other than knock you back and make you annoyed.
Yeah. I mean, it does enough damage to be scary, as is, but with a damage boost, then it's straight up just over if you don't respect it. Organic turtle can sleep, though? True. It would be. That's just how it works. Now, you can only do that 3 times, and with all of the stuff going on, you might just run out of diminishing returns on that. Do you still have orb?
I do.
Okay, great, because we might need it.
If only you to assume that the game is giving me a single other relic.
Well, they've given me a single relic over here, so maybe you were as lucky as me at least.
There's only one person who can get relics at a time. That's we've established.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. Last week I got 1 relic and it was green, so it didn't have an ability.
Yep. At least my green relic has an ability.
You know, I like where your mind is going, Asymmetricon. What mobs would be really annoying for a big AoE pull? Actually, no, never mind. What would be really annoying? How about just a bunch of those stupid traps? Uh-oh. A bunch of those stupid traps from Hullbreaker Isle? Are those mobs? I don't know. If they don't count, can we have like 30 of them? Your options are... They are mobs, so you're picking those instead of something more dangerous. Or they're not mobs, in which case, what's preventing me from just taking like 100 of them?
You can only use the ones that are available in Hullbreaker Isle.
We have to be super ready. Something like here. Yep, let's go. By the way, this is an item that you can just have as part of your toolkit, guys. Like, you just get it as an item in like one of those relics. And you can just skip some mobs if you want. And that can be part of planning a route.
Correction. It should be part of planning your route.
Oh yeah.
Some tanks just don't use them for some reason.
Some dungeons don't really like need it.
Destiny can wait.
Lex, I also just noticed what Lex said. Watching Yoshi, watch Yoshi be watching this stream, and the first dungeon in Evercold features exactly everything you described. You know, that's a good point. It has been a while since we've had a jerk anglerfish in a dungeon. We should do that again. What happened to that?
Kai, what have I told you about abusing the gift of prophecy?
You're right.
Okay, I'm frozen in place.
Me too. Like, oh, a sheep. Oh. Never mind, I'll just watch it from afar. Hey, Ravenous, hope you're doing well. You have to thought, just add every single like hazard from any duty ever. You have to watch out for the Hullbreaker Isle traps. Simultaneously, there's a laser beams on the sides from Kitana Ravel. It's just all bad. By the way, funny little detail, in this fight, while we're fighting the boss, we also have to make sure certain mechanics don't hit the our friend out there on the side, because we need him to help us with the... Oh, I didn't mean to try and kill them there. To avoid hurting them too much, because we need them for certain mechanics. That, the sun dies screaming is straight up a party wipe if it goes through. It does that much damage. And if it goes through, he will just cast it again until it doesn't go through. So if your friend dies, then he'll just spam it because there's no counterplay. You have nothing left.
This path only leads to greater suffering.
A ring. A ring.
We are getting fast.
Yeah.
There's 4 minutes left on that timer.
Hey, American says, if your GP is watching the stream, please put more environmental hazards in dungeons like the bear traps or those lion AoEs in the burn. I'm trying really hard to determine whether everyone in the party is ready before I just send the next one. I have a feeling that with this group, we're getting to Paragon tonight.
It's looking likely.
Yeah.
And we have an entire hour left afterwards. Potentially.
Oh, well, let's see how long this takes, and then we have Wraith Tide, and then...
Yeah.
We have 1 hour, at least, to go. But I think we'll do this and then try Wraith Tide.
Yeah. Dang, it looks like there was no stopping for gear like I predicted.
There's no what?
I was suspecting that at some point we'd be like, okay, maybe we actually need to stop for some gear. But no.
At least with these guys, I think we can do this.
Yeah.
They do some pumpage. And it was just the 2 first guys we ran into.
Such is life.
Yeah. That sometimes Fellowship is like that. You just start a queue and then you're like, oh, well, I guess we'll just do the whole league.
We start the queue. Alright, we found some randoms. Surely this will just be a one and done. 4 hours later with the same party.
Wow.
Alright, guys, I have to go to bed.
And they never spoke again. Which is the weirdest
Yeah.
part. That actually happens quite a lot. You might even add them to friends and still... It's just... The magic is gone.
The magic is gone.
My 1 second remaining shining halo just surviving. By somehow being refilled on every GCD.
I can endure.
I've had that quite a few times where it's like, oh god, notice at the last second, like, oh god, I need to actually make sure
Need to
my
protect
shining halo
my
doesn't-
thing.
It's a lot harder this season than it was last season, even though I don't think they changed it at all.
I think it's just you got used to having a lot of haste.
Maybe.
Actually, pretty confident that's it, because that's the thing. Like when I have like a pull where I have ult, it's not a problem. And also, by the way, Fateful Strike means that if it drops, it's just like, oh look, I have another one. I should not have done that actually. I just realized how close this pull was to ending, but sometimes I'll refresh it early so that maybe I have it ready for the next pull in time.
This is also the least favorite pull of a lot, or this is the least favorite dungeon of a lot of people. Including us, because Scribe's Peak kind of sucks.
The timer is very tight, and the mobs are pretty tough. Just on top of that.
Okay, this is
And then there's this awesome pull.
Okay, there we go. Better
Was
than I
there a
expected.
cleanse or did it just take out naturally?
It just checked out naturally. I just amended Fated. I
Nice.
got a new talent, Divine Echoes of Divinity. It's actually pretty good.
That's the one that restores stagger based on max health, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's funny, I feel like they buffed that one for Season 3,
yeah,
and it was already awesome in Season 2.
yeah. Like it's definitely one of the best one-pointers in Season 1. Like the
Yeah.
value is insane. Once again, it's high value because it's almost impossible to calculate how much value Stagger actually provides.
What did you actually mean? You said in Season 1?
Season 2. In Season 2, it was one of the best value talents you could pick.
Yeah, I
At
think
one
the
point.
problem there was just that, like, at least for a large part of it, you didn't need a defensive talent like that.
Yeah.
So often you didn't pick it because Aeona was a little bit busted. Well, I feel like my damage is catching up pretty well now.
Mine didn't. My damage is still bad on the saving. No idea what I'm doing wrong.
I don't know. That pull was ult, so it could be something like that. And this pull, I'm doing Fate. Oh god. Right, the shardlings.
can handle this. Twilight watches.
Witness eternity.
War after me! And for annihilation!
I don't know for sure on what Tariq just said there, but I do remember that usually they would be like a pack short or something like that. Almost like a pole short, at least. So he's probably somewhat right on us needing more packs because it's Shadow Lord for some reason.
War after me!
No. Good. Good.
I'll try what I can do.
I can handle this.
I've seen my victory.
The barrier's here.
This moment.
That's a good idea. Hey Jace, hope you're doing well. It is quite good. If you like running dungeons, you probably like the game too. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab this guy and then move over to an optional pack. Exactly, because I agree. Every time I've done this dungeon and tried to limit myself to just the guidance stuff, it has turned out to not be enough.
What?
Oh,
Where?
This supposed to hurt.
that's a long run back. I think
Go
he
off the
fell.
cliff as well. Oh.
I'm trying really hard to stay in my circle while getting yeeted.
Time is over.
You also almost took a dip off
Yep.
the cliff there, Kirk.
Yep. Now that's what we're saying, Ragnarok here. This dungeon is weirdly tight on the timer.
Yeah.
And that's just true. We've had trouble every single time.
For my people! I can handle this. To hurt.
Yep, we were one short. We should have grabbed the camp. Well, I tried. I was doing it this way because I knew we couldn't do all of that with the Magus. So it was like a Hail Mary of, if that's enough, we can clear in time. Otherwise, we can't. But there's something weird. Like, the best way I can describe it is that Scrya's Peak and Ruins of Regeth are the two new dungeons. Oh boy. And they're both balanced a little weirdly. They're harder than all the other ones. Good thing someone took the camp.
Time is over.
May the light protect us all. The cosmos gazes at you. Give me everything you got.
So yeah, absolutely, it is a tough dungeon. But I think we'll do this and then go to Wraith Tide anyway. Don't really care that we didn't time it.
I've seen my
It's supposed to hurt. My spirit holds. Is this supposed to hurt? My foot after me!
time is over.
Oh boy, another round. Something that makes this fight also drag on longer than other bosses is that his mechanic with all those red orbs, each orb gives you an potentially infinitely stacking damage buff, 5% per stack. So he of course is tankier than your average boss because, I mean, he's actively giving you the ability to hurt him faster.
That's why I'm sad I had 30 stacks and I lost them.
Oh.
See my victory.
Imagine how much damage I could have done. Well, it is a better weapon, but it's green. I might actually just not use that. I don't think it's worth upgrading.
Probably not.
I'd rather get a Paragon weapon.
Red and Rocky says it feels awkward picking up the orbs due to needing to stop damage to do so. Yeah, it kind of depends on how close they are. The key there is that some characters are more capable of picking them up. without it really impacting their capacity to attack.
Also, it's 5% per. That's so much damage. The number is so big.
Number big.
Number big.
But that does mean that next up is Wraithtide, the capstone dungeon, which is a little longer. But if we can beat that in time, then we did one more whole league in one session of about 3 hours.
Yeah.
I think we have have the gear score, the PP as it goes to do it. I like how the actual summary is power score, but in the individual item it still says power potential.
Yeah, it's PP. I showed you my PP. Please respond. I showed you my power potential. Please respond.
I have such potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can happen, Ragnarok here, but typically the team should be capable of surviving until you come back. So, but it is an unfortunate reality that that can happen.
I can endure.
I've seen my victory.
That's the moment to coin. Yeah, exactly, Lex. Big PP damage. That is exactly right. 18 leave. Hope you're doing well.
It's now my headcanon that they were like, alright, we're gonna call it power potential. And then they had Hamish announce it. And immediately once they saw that people were shortening it to PP, they were like, okay, we're calling it something else.
It's actually a little funnier than that. The truth of what actually happened is that they had already decided to not actually call it power potential before it actually released. But Hamish went out and told the public anyways that was what it was originally called. So they possibly had that conversation before sharing it with the public. And someone was like, guys, they're gonna call it PP. And then Hamish, the community manager? Community director? Something like, I'm not sure.
Face of the company, at least.
Yeah, pretty clear face of the company, let's say that. Just straight up went and told the people what it was meant to be. And the player base, of course, rolled with it. And then just to add extra comedic effect, it still calls it power potential in some places.
I can endure.
Not
May
this
their life protect them.
Oh, I didn't realize there were that many.
I've seen my
Oh boy.
Third.
I miss having... Ugh. grand melee right now.
I also miss you having grand melee right now.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I did the right thing. I saw all the damage come out and I put shield on you. I like how there's a feared gunpowder rat over there, and just because it's feared, the fuse decided to stop. Because that's how physics work, everybody. That's how it works. If you stop running, the fuse stops.
Destiny can wait. Time is over.
Unfortunately, I have to keep my interrupt for the build rat. The landlubbers and the bilge rats. Actually, there's no landlubbers in the dungeon, are there?
There are.
Wait, there are? Where are they?
Yeah. There's a specific mob that's called the Landlubber.
Oh, it's one of the skeletons?
Yeah.
Oh. I wished it would be like... What is a lobber, actually? The crab?
I don't know. I'm sadly not that familiar with nautical slang. And apparently I'm very... However, I'm very
You're
familiar
now
with standing
very
on top of the
familiar
boss
with
for no reason.
yeah, you're very familiar with his anchor now, right?
Yeah. Well, it was really easy to miss. If only it was gigantic on top of him and did a slow as shit animation.
Just a big swing. Did you forget something, Nox?
No.
How did you make that?
Don't know, don't question it.
Definitely not. For me, you like when I was asking, you were like not in range.
I teleported on top and apparently game was like, that's good enough. Here, have it.
Sure, why not?
I started channeling, like, as I was being pulled back, finished the channel, and it yeeted me to the anchor. Like, you know what? I'll take it.
We count those. Whatever.
Yep. I am not in a position to be like, you know what, that's kind of bullshit.
Nox.
Sorry. I try, okay.
I know, you do. Oh boy, here it comes again.
This time I'm not risking my life. Amazing.
Incredible.
Panic is a lot easier if you don't almost end yourself.
If you don't risk your life.
Yeah, that's crazy. Walk away from the tank.
Me over here trying extremely hard to both stand in my dance floor and also not getting anyone killed. But if I didn't, if I didn't know better, yeah, if I didn't know better, people would think that my dance floor gives them mitigation too.
Yeah, that would be a cool talent.
Now that would be something, yeah. Which also wouldn't be entirely insane, because one of the things that make Helena so strong in the current season is exactly that she has party mitigation.
Did somebody check in one of the mobs that's spawning because it's
Yes, and apparently
chicken?
the chicken is too heavy for the tides. That's really weird.
That is really weird.
I fight for their children. My call.
So there is an item. Uh-oh. What happened?
That was a stray arrow bounce from the Ilarian.
I don't have very much here. I didn't expect that. But yeah, the chicken that some of you may have noticed is also an item that you can just have that allows you to essentially, like, not quite delete, but let's just say that the chickens don't do much. You get to replace a few mobs in the dungeon with duds. That of course also means that they don't count to the kill score that you need. But you can sometimes also just get rid of an ad in a boss encounter, which can be convenient in certain cases.
Ilarian pull.
I can't get him. Well, this looks more fine. I think the pack he pulled was just a couple dudes, and then one of them happened to be Ray.
Yeah.
I think that Tide Witch on the bridge during the pack before the bridge a bad idea. I think it's more that due to the way... Hey, other way. People feel magnetized to that way because the whole season 1 and 2 you went right round. You don't do that anymore. I don't know Ragnarokia, but as you could see, it definitely got a little bit chaotic. And the difficulty isn't actually like getting the people around the mobs you don't want. That's where the real problems arrive. Since you might be able to take all the guys, but the mobs you're bringing from before, they need to pass around other packs as you go up. Or they'll get grabbed along. You don't want that.
Oh man, once this stream's over, I'm making something to eat. I am starving.
Understandable.
Are you?
Whoa! What?
That was my thick butt. The clap of my ass cheeks. It's too loud.
No worries, man. That's just two guys. We can handle that.
I knew I shouldn't have picked Iona.
What? Well, you put her in a dress, at least.
Yeah. But I mean, you've seen. She fills out the dress a lot.
Yeah, that is hilariously, guys. The Time Wizard healer has an hourglass figure.
Bum bum ba-dum bum.
Yeah, crazy, right?
They also, for some reason, decided
Can we
that
get the
this-
people to actually hug this wall?
Yes.
My expectations were low.
And exceeded.
Welcome back, Vashti.
I will say that the arguably weirdest part about Leona's outfit is still the fact that, out of all things, she decided that, you know what would be the perfect
You may need to
thing to
dispel
fight
some
with.
guys here.
I'm getting to it.
Yeah, it's just, for some reason, the interrupts are just not happening.
The interrupt happened, he just mistimed it.
Tariq interrupted the wrong guy. And then I sat there like, I guess I'll have to interrupt him. And then my guy that I was meant to interrupt, you know, did his thing. And then Ilarion gravity arrowed it.
But no, like, I'm pretty sure Tariq tried to interrupt the green spot, he just mistimed it.
I think he accidentally did the thing where you just press the interrupt button instead of the interrupt my chosen button. I've done that a lot too.
Alright, time to ball. But yeah, the funnest thing about Iona is the fact that she decided that the smartest thing to fight in was in fact 8-inch heels.
Yeah, what a move.
And she's doing it, so you know, respect to her.
Yeah, she's got this.
Yeah. Like,
By the way, I can definitely feel that the ball is heavier.
Yeah.
Freeze this moment.
So it doesn't just flop around impossibly.
Yeah.
But it does
Season 2,
adhere
the
to
ball
attacks
felt
that are clearly
very
directed at
light,
it.
Like, very easy to move. Ironically makes it harder to move.
Yep. I don't even have to turn off my my aura or
Yeah.
anything because it only gets shoved by attacks actually directed
Ooh,
at
that
it.
was a nice percent. That was a nice chunky orb.
Yeah, I felt like I was so fast that I was like waiting for coins to land.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I managed to get hit.
The next shadow breed is gonna be a little bit cold.
You know, I just realized after all this time, there's a timer on when he yoinks it. And
Yeah.
look, I just lost the debuff that allows me to actually interact with it.
Yeah.
And boink.
Shadow Green is coming up.
I think I'll be able to ult for... Oh, no, I won't. I had expected to take a tiny... Oh, actually, I can, yeah. Help a little bit with the... healing there.
I've seen my victory.
Feeling like one of those beetles. Where the coins at? Oh, there's one. I can't.
Oh, you lost the debuff, you can just hit the boss now.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. Good night, my friend. Plunk.
Your time
Gaze upon the void between stars.
destiny can wait.
This is gonna get real awkward real soon, I think.
May the light protect the storm.
I'd actually do this. Oh, I can't do that because my thing is on CD. Wayne.
Your silence? Oh, what thing?
No, I was considering using the empowered version of Entropy's Claim.
Oh,
It's
the
actually
stunner
as
guy.
Yeah. Because
Oh, that'd be good.
Skelljacks are so irritating.
You know, for some reason in my mind, Entropy's Claim is way longer, but it's only 6 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
To be
still a
fair.
6-second stun.
Yeah.
Do we need all of this? Yeah, I was just thinking, can we orbit? I think we'll do the upper floor here in 2 pulls.
I can
Okay, you Scuttlejack. Oh, I'm not stunned because I fucked up again.
Oh.
Oh man. Every time. Oh Lord,
It's the bombs away, yeah? I stopped one of them.
Bombs away, Blunder Boom. Basically anything they cast is irritating. It's also Soul Powder Shot, which is equally irritating.
I've seen my victory.
We got some guys from below, I think.
Ow.
Don't know.
Your time.
Just bounce through the floor?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. As long as it's only those guys.
Yep.
But I'm getting a little suspicious that it might not be.
Yeah.
Chain!
Time is over.
I think we'll make this, as long as we don't have any major problems on the boss.
Yeah, this boss is usually relatively fast.
Yeah, but it is one of those where you're like, everything is good, bam, someone died.
Yeah.
My victory.
Pulse Priest, hope you're doing well. I don't think so. Not because you're not welcome, but because I have a feeling that looking at the time, that I think this is our last run.
Yep.
I hold time in my
For my people! I can handle this.
Maybe next time, yeah. I got so lost in the sauce there that I completely forgot and just was blasting all of my cooldowns.
I can handle this.
Let's see here. Oh man, flawless.
Nice. What did you do?
Sanctuary.
Nice. Yeah, I just shielded you. That's why you have more health than everyone else right now. I think. Alright. This garbage.
Oof, that's something nasty overlap.
Yep. And it's completely by design. Save a soul in 5, so if you need to set something up in case it's your turn. Wasn't.
I don't know, one of the positives I feel is that of Aeon is that there's very little you can set up.
Yeah. It's like, the best you can really do most of the time is like, I mean, if you see it coming, then maybe you're like, oh right, if I have 5 seconds, I should probably use Restore Continuity or something.
Yeah.
Very cool, Katrina. Very cool.
I can endure.
Here it
Yeah,
comes.
that was me.
Okay, I'll try and hold what I have.
I think the boss is gonna be dead before I can make it back.
Yep.
Well, someone got a stealth rally.
Someone got a... Yeah.
Well, not stealth. Did I say stealth? It's cleanse. Alright.
Another talent point. Oh, that one. Let's see if the neck I got is a good replacement. Come on. Not quite. A stag, but no oak. But stag is pretty solid, so maybe it's fine. Alice's question about this game. Sorry if you've answered it. Does tank and healer damage matter more or less? Like 14 versus WoW healer? Well, let's just say that a healer putting in the damage can help a ton. And tanks can do a pretty solid amount of damage. Like you can see here in the overall damage. Nox and I combined did about a third of the damage, and we could possibly have done more in some groups, depending on the dungeon, depending on what people do, and so on. So yeah, it is pretty significant that everyone does the damage. But a key difference between Fellowship and 14 is that healers will sometimes spend a lot of GCDs just on healing and survival. Just straight, just that.
The damage also varies a lot between the healers. The highest damage healer currently, I believe, is Sylvie, followed by Iona, and lastly is Viewer. For various reasons. Sylvie's being that her damage is very concentrated in what it does and how it does, and it does it in bursts. And scales incredibly well on AoE, whereas Iona has a very large amount of single target.
Yeah, Iona basically heals by attacking, so in a way, her like maximum damage potential maybe is a bit lower to compensate for the fact that like she's attacking anyways, right? Sylvie, every time she presses basically any cooldown that costs a GCD and is healing, at the end of its life it will produce some shrooms that do AoE damage that she can send into battle when she wants to, as a bomb. So you generally want to use it just for that. And then a large part of her damage aside from that comes from just putting down vines that do some attacking over time. And that's more for single target, but like she will use both in any fight. Which does mean that like the main thing she does is do like a very, very basic and very weak spell just over and over and over again that reduces the cooldown of one of her main cooldowns. And then she just does that to pass the time while something more important isn't available or needed. Vigor is like the closest you get to like proper healer, right? Priest style, a little bit white magey. He can do a ton of damage, but like he's using the exact same resource that he uses for healing to do damage. So if he gets too lost in the sauce, he might not have the resource to actually do the healing, and then you die. So he has a lot of potential, but he also has a lot of like agency in choosing what he's gonna do with his resources. So it can kind of swing pretty heavily. But healers are significant for their damage. And let's just say that throughout this season, Mako, which is one of the tanks, has she's been a little bit behind the other two tanks in capacity, because when it comes to high end, what a lot of groups seem to look for is the capacity to help the team. And Helena has party-wide mitigation. Xavier can give like individuals shields and heal the party. Meiko can't do anything for the party. She's very good at surviving, but she doesn't do anything for the party. Most of the buffs she's received are associated with damage output. She happens to have lifesteal built into her kit, so damage buffs equal like healing buffs. But yeah, all of the like a lot of the time when I'm tanking on Helena, when I blast my cooldowns, I will do as much or more damage than a DPS on a big AoE pull and things like that. So it matters, but it's not as crucial. Like if you're a DPS, then the only thing you need to worry about, well, actually, it's not the only thing. You have to interrupt as well and help with utility and all that. Like there's actually a lot to think about, regardless of what role you're playing.
You're 4 dudes in a squad, which means that each one of you matter a lot.
Yeah. If you pull a pack with 3 guys that have crucial to interrupt things, then at minimum, each non-healer player has 1 guy that they're responsible for. There's a rhyme here named No.
Oh man, they went away.
Oh. But sometimes the interrupts needed are so frequent that while you have this ability to like put your head on a guy to indicate I will interrupt this, there's a keybind for that, and then there's a keybind you can set to like respond to it and do it. And it will just use your interrupt because the game knows which one is your interrupt. So you don't have to switch target to do it. But let's say that the enemies do the crucial to interrupt thing every 15 seconds. Then tanks have a 12-second cooldown on their interrupt, melee DPS have a 16-second cooldown on theirs, and ranged have a 20-second cooldown on theirs. So you might just, interrupt yours, and the order in which the things were interrupted might have been random. But then the second time they need to be interrupted, maybe the tank is the only one that can. And maybe no one can, in which case, well, tanks have something they can use to, like, shove an enemy to, like, stop them. Or some DPS have a thing, for instance, the Tariq, the big guy with the hammer that we fought with doing all the lightning. He has, like, a shout where he makes all the enemies cower in fear for a moment, or for a while if you don't attack them very much. And the Ilarion, the archer that we fought alongside, he has this gravitational arrow, I think it's called. Not quite entirely sure, but it yoinks enemies to a specific spot, which of course is the same as shoving them. Essentially, every DPS has something. Some of them have really short cooldown things for a single guy. Some of them have really long cooldowns for an AoE stop. And then Vigor among the healers has a stun for one guy, and Aeona has an AoE silence that has like a really long cooldown.
It's 7 minutes, effectively 5.
Yeah. Because
Aeona
as the time mage, she has a mechanic that reduces cooldowns on things, which means that the exact cooldown of stuff is a little complicated. And then her silence has like a 7-minute cooldown because it's supposed to not be easily accessible. So hello,
it's arguably...
Is the name Tsukari? I'm not sure I'm reading it right, but thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, you're catching the wrapping up end part of a fellowship stream. We just hit Paragon, if you know the game. Tsukare. Well, then I was close. It means tired. Oh. Great. To continue what I was talking about is that every character has ways to impact the polls. And if you're not using yours, then there is a high probability that if the pulls are going fine and the pulls are not small, then it's because someone else is like pulling your weight also. Like for instance, a common thing I run into as Helena is this one. Is that she has an interrupt, of course, but she also has a single target stun that, while its cooldown is apparently 20 seconds, I thought it was 16. She has very many ways to like reduce her cooldowns. Not sure how much she can reduce charge, but she essentially has 2 interrupts as a result of that. So I can stop 2 guys at once, and I often will. Sometimes I'll use a weapon that gives me a 3rd one. So I'll just stop everything. And that means that sometimes a player that is doing, like, contributing nothing can get away with it. And like sometimes that just works. Like just case in point, like actually Nox, try and check out the interrupt count from that previous dungeon we just did.
No.
That Tariq, he used his toolkit.
Yeah.
Was he the one with the spider mount?
Yes. So that's the 10 came out from season 1.
Yeah. So he was probably pretty solid.
Yeah. I mean, he did also do a lot of DPS, even in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for his PP.
I mean, he was below us in PV when we started this session.
Yeah. So yeah, he performed really well. The Ilarian looked bad, but
He was
the
fine.
Ilarian performed what we expected.
Yeah, and he was. I would actually say he was also somewhat above average of what
Yeah.
you'd expect from just any guy in that just queues in. And he was solid. We have done something like this and then had to go. One of these guys can't do the capstone, which
Yeah.
is the dungeon that brings you to the next tier. And that was not a problem. That was not a problem. But yeah, that was effective. Last week we went from nothing, or almost nothing because Nox had something on Aeona, to entering champion. Now we started from there and entered Paragon. I have a feeling that we try this again. That
We might not end up with 2 pumpers.
Paragon will probably take more than one set.
Yeah. Paragon 2 to 3 is notoriously difficult.
Yeah. Like I would say, like just very hand wavy numbers here. You can reach adept in like nothing, basically. So like basically 0 power score. That is the number that says 6099 right there. You could reach adept in basically 0 with a little bit of skill. To hit champion, I think you'd probably need like 2k, like around 2000 power score, power potential, PP. Unless you're really, really good. And to get past to Paragon, I would say 5k is probably a good idea. If your team is really good, you might be able to do it in 4.5, I feel. To get from Paragon to Eternal, most of the time that I've seen it work has been with people, like if everyone is even, because some people will go in Eternal gear and just carry people in like 12k or more and get like downsized because they're overgeared. The system has that, so you can't just carry your friends in too powerful gear. If everyone is equal, I would say around 9k is the earliest that it should work. And then maybe if you have a legendary, a little bit of stuff like that, then it becomes easier. You could probably do it with 8k. The problem is that then you need a legendary, and that will automatically get you to 9k. So like the distance, the amount of gear you need for each increment becomes larger. And the reason why the increment is so much larger for Paragon is because the capstone dungeon for Paragon is Sithral's Fall, which is, well, let me put it like this. The capstone for Contender, there is a strategy, but you don't really have to discuss it. Everyone just knows. The capstone for Adept, there isn't really, like, there is individual stuff you need to know, like mechanics, but there isn't really something you have to discuss. For Wraith Tide, same deal. There are mechanics, but you don't really have anything you need to discuss. One of the bosses in Sithral's Fall, you almost have to, like, before you start the dungeon, just quickly go over how are we gonna do this. Because he has a specific mechanic that has to be handled in a specific way, and there are different ways to approach it. And I feel like
that boss, we learned some statistics about recently, and it turns out that boss, who is not the usual final boss of Sithral's, had the highest amount of player kills.
I think actually the one that had the highest amount of player kills was the final boss in Heart of Tosari, but when we account for the fact that in Season 2, Heart of Tosari was, like, it wasn't even close. The by far most ran dungeon in the game, relatively speaking. Ancient Chorus, also known as Human Cough because of a misquote, a big golem in Sithral's Fall, which is one of the bosses, not the final boss, had so many kills that the final boss of Sithral's Fall was overshadowed by him.
By a large amount.
Yeah, like basically Ancient Chorus just gate-kept people from fighting the last boss. So it wasn't certain if the reason why the final boss had so few kills was because it was easy, or if it was because no one got there to die to begin with. And that's the thing that, like, gatekeeps people from hitting Eternal. So you really need to prepare for that. And it doesn't help that that fight is a huge heal check, especially. So a lot of healers might be fine all the way to there, then they hit Sithral's Fall, and then, like, they meet the hardest heal check they've ever seen since. And that says a lot, because Wraith Tide Vault has a heal check. Anyway,
I'd argue that the Wraith Tide one is harder, but it's not as mean.
yeah. Also, it, like, if it was Paragon, maybe it would be a lot meaner.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I think we'll wrap it up from here. So if you'd like to be part of the Discord community server, there's a link right there in the chat. There you'll find the weekly schedule where you can see what else is coming up in the coming days. They're usually updated Sunday or Monday, and at the moment, we tend to play Fellowship on Wednesdays. You'll also find the announcement room with links to videos and streams, and I'll go them out. And if you grab the reminder roll in the role assignment room, you get a notification whenever I do that. Also, the next round around 15 minutes before stream starts, you can catch it right when we go live. And if you'd like to support the channel more directly, you can like over on the YouTube side of things. You can follow, you can subscribe, you can become a member, you can super chat, you can cheer, you can do all of that goodness. And if you don't like any of that, there is also a Ko-Fi page right there in the chat. It all helps support me and the channel directly, so I can do stuff like this with all of you without having to worry about algorithms and whatnot. So thanks so much for the support. And also in the Discord, by the way, there's other stuff than just channels for reminders. There's a lot of talk. There's even a room specifically for planning Fellowship. So if you want to get into the game and you're thinking, man, it looks really fun, but I don't have any friends to play with, the community is there. But that'll be it from me, so let's see if we can rate somebody. Oh, Wannabe is streaming. Let me see what other options we have here. So much Sylvie gaming. let's check in with Wannabe. With the big eternal grind. But on that note, that'll be it from me. So good night, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending where in the world, and hope to see you all very soon. Bye bye!